Welcome to the stream, guys. Today we are celebrating October, Spooky Month, by talking
Yeah.
about spooking games. So, welcome. So the topic is spooky games, but more importantly, I haven't played a lot of spooky games. I only own I have Fear 1 and 2 over there, and then I played Amnesia on stream. But other than that, I haven't really played much. And Fear 1 and 2, I think I only played the first one. So, um,
Okay.
yeah, there's a lot to catch up on, and these guys are going to try and educate me. But we're also going to talk more about spooky games in general, like why people play them, why people like them, and why we like them, or don't like them, or whatever. So, strap in. It's time for some spooks.
So I guess we should start. Let me ask you this, Wombat.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite horror movie? I'm trying to get an idea for what kind of horror you like, or if you just are kind of.
Well, okay, so I really like, I like horror movies.
Hmm.
I like watching them. I like them because they don't scare me, but I
Okay.
like to see how they try.
Okay.
Ooh.
Do horror games scare you at all? Or, I mean, the few that you've played.
So with Amnesia, there were times when I was like, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, go, go, go,
Okay.
go. But like,
Yeah.
it was more of a like, I didn't want to die, not,
No, I understand that. Okay.
not I'm creeped out. But like
I get it.
the invisible thing creeped me out a little bit. Like it was like just
Okay.
the splashes, like trying
In
to
the
get
water?
away from it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was fun. I like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I like I guess one of my favorites was A Quiet Place, if you count that as a scary movie.
Yeah, I'd count it.
That was good.
So good.
That was good.
But like there's even a bunch of scary movies I haven't seen. So like
Okay.
It's hard to keep up with pop culture in general, I think, these days.
Yeah.
There's so many things
and I
coming
hate
out.
going to movies alone, and I never have people to watch them with because my wife
Yep.
isn't as big of a fan of scary movies as I am. So
Oh, yeah, I get that.
Gil can't play
Uh.
horror games, but he likes watching them.
It's fair. I know a lot of people like that.
I mean, that's a big thing on Twitch. A lot of people like to just go play the game, watch the games rather than play them themselves, and I think that
horror movie.
games.
Yeah.
That way, you don't have to experience it so much yourself, and then you get to laugh at people.
Right. So, I was gonna say something.
I guess to start off, let's try to define. I think we always do well when we set baselines, you know.
Right.
Let's try to define, I guess, like aspects that a horror game. So I mean, I always do like my due diligence and like do a couple minutes of Google searching and just try to take some notes of things that I agree with.
Okay.
I always do my due diligence and make sure that the stream is set up.
I don't do anything.
That's fair. Yeah, Kirby, you don't have to do anything. You're just the eye candy.
Thank you, guys.
That's why he's in the middle.
So, Charles, you
So,
found anything? Yeah.
Like, atmosphere is huge in
Sure,
any
definitely.
horror game. Atmosphere.
Yeah.
When
If the
people
atmosphere is
say,
weak, the game's
yeah,
generally
like-
weak for horror.
I have played a lot of
Right.
Resident Evil games.
Okay.
"Oh, you have played a lot of Resident Evil."
I played I haven't actually. Okay, so here's some things that I really want to play that are spooky that I've never gotten to play because I never owned a PlayStation. Silent Hill.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's something I've always wanted to play. Let's see. I haven't really played much of the first one. I played some of it. I've played 4 all the way through, 3 all the way through, and I played Last of Us.
Last
Count
of
that
Us.
as
Okay.
scary. But that's more like
I'd qualify
story.
that.
yeah.
I've heard a lot of
so
people
good.
qualify that as a horror game, so that's fair.
Yeah, but it's more of an adventure with a spooky backdrop a little bit.
Well, so in some sense, games like Left 4 Dead or what
I
else?
played Left 4
Some
Dead.
people classify
Left 4 Dead,
some
Killing
people classify
Floor.
those.
Yeah. COD Zombies,
Game.
maybe.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say that Left 4 Dead isn't a spooky game. It just has, it's like a spooky theme. You know what I
Okay.
mean? It doesn't have
Yeah.
like it doesn't have the ambience, or it might have the ambience at
There it
times.
is. There it is. Yeah, it doesn't. It lacks the atmosphere. I think another game, Dead Island. I think it is. I would not qualify that as a horror game
But it would have
because it
horror
lacks the
parts.
atmosphere.
It does have scary parts to it, I would say.
Correct. But I
Because
wouldn't.
there's a whole bunch of that game is so big. Like,
Yeah. Exactly. But would either of you qualify it as a
no,
horror
it's
game?
an adventure game.
Dead Island.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing with. Have you guys played Dying Light? Similar.
No.
In it's like more of an open world zombie game. Okay. I would agree. It's same kind of. It's a great game. It's a great zombie game, but it's not a horror game. And that makes me. I kind of want to ask you guys this now. Is there's kind of like a spectrum of horror games, and there's where maybe on one side you have strictly survival horror where you can't fight back, and those are games like Layers of Fear, or a game called like Clock Tower, essentially, or Alien Isolation, where you can't fight back, or Amnesia, where you can't fight back against whatever is haunting you, right? Then there are more action horror games like Evil Within or Dead Space, and then there's at some point it stops being horror and it starts being action with hints of horror, like Left 4 Dead or Dead Island or Dying Light. And I want to see if you guys kind of agree with that or disagree, or what your opinions on that are.
It's a good way of
I think subgenres. I agree.
yeah, that's a good way of putting it. So like
Yeah, so Evil Within is horror and Dead
Yeah.
Space is horror, or they're action with horror elements?
I would say they're horror with action elements.
Exact. Okay, yeah, me too.
Whereas Dead Island is action with horror elements.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
fair. I would completely agree with that.
Okay. For me personally, I like survival horror because it's scarier to me because I can't fight back, and I don't like that. I mean, I like it because it gets me more into it, but I don't like being chased and having no way of like telling that dude to go away, right? But at the same time, horror games with action elements can make the enemies a bit more aggressive and involved, since you have a way of dealing with them, and that can add stuff too. So I don't know if you guys have a preference on which end of the spectrum you like, or
For me right now, I'm totally into what's it say? Just because
yeah.
I do think it adds something new when you can't fight back.
Could you repeat that, Trell? Because you broke up a little bit.
I'm trying to I think I got some processes running. I'm trying to kill him.
okay.
I think that I would agree with Kirby. I definitely think that survival horror is definitely like what I'm into right now, in the sense that I think it's providing me the most thrills and scares and else. And I mean, then that's something I do want to go into today, is like the different kinds of spooks that there are.
Right. Okay.
So I definitely, yeah, survival horror is definitely is piquing my interest for sure.
Okay. Okay.
I
Just
think
curious.
that Amnesia was my first survival horror game.
Oh, yeah, laser
You
for
ever-
you shoot back. Yeah.
The first
Sorry.
game where I couldn't do anything but try and get out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So like that was
Outlast.
really definitely interesting. And I think what
I Outlast.
yeah, I've never played Outlast.
Okay.
Although I'm not sure if I'd like Outlast.
Why is that?
Well, you were playing Outlast when I reacted the way I did about that one game, right?
Wait, what game? Sorry, I'm confused.
Game.
Outlast? Like when
Oh,
weren't you playing Outlast on stream?
he streamed Outlast, but then you reacted a certain way about it. I think I might be missing something. I'm forgetting
The guy got his heart
Oh,
thawed.
yep,
Yeah.
that thing.
Oh
I, do-
yeah.
I
Yep.
forgot. Yep,
No, thank you.
that's fair. Apparently, Outlast 2 is worse.
And
in
there,
that
it was like a montage of it too. It just kept happening to me, and I just had to sit there and watch it.
Oh man, that was bad. They had a bit like that in Quake 3. Did you guys ever play Quake 3?
I've never
Uh,
played Quake now.
No, that happens in what? I thought Quake 3 was just like an arena shooter.
Yeah,
No, you get there in the storyline. There's a bit where you actually have to you sit and watch your guy get subjected to torture, and I think you end up like getting your
Oh.
torso that or cut in half or.
I didn't know that had.
Spoilers, by the way. And
Dude, I was just gonna play Quake 3.
You son of a
it's
gun.
old AF, but I mean that game again. You know, I wouldn't qualify Quake 3 as horror, but I think where it's an action game with horror elements in it.
Mhm.
So I think we're starting to gather a baseline. So along with atmosphere, you know, I think that there's like some anticipation that goes on. There's like some mystery, and what else was there? That let me just look at my notes.
Creepiness.
Creepiness, yes, I totally agree with that one. Do you think that I think that we kind of, when we were talking about interaction with the player, I think that kind of goes hand in hand with the type of subgenre, like survival versus
More action.
yeah. So I think those are all key things in there. So the different types of scares,
Go ahead.
felt emotionally scared while playing a game.
So like creeped out or disturbed because
Invested in anyone other than the player you're playing, that you are afraid for them.
afraid for the. Well, for me, when I get into horror games, if I really get into it, then I think I'm the person that's in the game.
Yeah.
If it's done well.
Immersion.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, plenty of time. Especially, I keep mentioning this game. I don't know if anyone's played it. It's an older game. I played it on PlayStation. I'll link it for chat real quick. It's just a screenshot of the cover. It's called Clock Tower, and I don't really remember the story. And this is before I skipped all cutscenes. I just don't remember it because I was really young. And anyway, there's some dude with a massive pair of scissors, and you can see him like garden shears. You can see him in the screen in the cover, and he was just killing people by just cutting them in half. And when you're playing the game, the whole point was like to try and uncover the mystery behind it, but he'd be hunting you down. And I was terrified that he might just come. He would drop from the ceiling and stuff, and I was terrified for my person that I was gonna get cut in half. But pretty much any survival horror game, I am emotionally scared that that's going to happen to me, or not that, but whatever. I'm gonna get hunted.
That's to yourself, your own character, right?
Wait, sorry, what was that?
Like the player you're playing. You've never been so emotionally connected to anything else, right?
Yeah, like when I play Dark Souls, I'm like, oh no, my guy's gonna get beat up by a dragon. I don't care. I mean, I'm gonna come back and I'll fight the dragon. But in horror games, I'm like, don't let it happen to me. I don't want it, you know. So.
Wow, this game looks so bad.
Oh, it's probably not nearly as scary as I think it was. But I was like, I don't even know. I feel like I was like 10 or something. I remember it.
One game.
What was that?
That was a PlayStation 1 game.
Yeah.
I mean, when what? Like, I think the first horror game technically was on the Atari. Haunted House on the Atari.
Huh.
I think that was what helped. I don't know if it really was what drove the genre. I want to say what drove the genre was Resident Evil.
Yeah, it's funny when I search survival horror, the first thing Wikipedia has is Resident Evil 1996 named and defined the survival horror genre. So.
Oh, it even says it on the Wikipedia. I mean, if it's on Wikipedia, it must be true.
It has to. It literally is. It's ironclad.
Be true. But I would actually probably agree with it. I think it did help create, then to definitively drive it for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Probably have had some sort of connection or influence, at least not one, but then one for sure. And look at RE7. RE7 I think was truly groundbreaking again. I feel like it almost redefined the franchise.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen much of it because Rose refuses to play it. But I mean, whatever.
Quake 4. When did I get Quake 4?
4? Have I played that one? I'm not sure if I played that one.
So would you consider like the flood sections of Halo to be action with a horror base or a horror aspect?
Action first, but yes.
Oh, I've also played Alan Wake, so that's one.
Oh yeah, that was gonna be my one. If we had to convince you to play a game, I was gonna convince you to play Alan Wake.
Alan Wake what?
American Nightmare.
Oh.
I don't feel like you need much convincing, so I win. Kirby sucks. Cool.
What? I didn't even.
Call it a day.
I'm done. Dude, don't even. Don't. How, you can't win because he already played the game. I didn't even know it was the contest.
But
Anyway, we're
won.
getting off topic. This started with types of spooks, right? And yeah, sure. There's there's if you get really immersed, you're scared for your character that they might get killed or something. My favorite type of fear is like actual, like I'm like not when anything's going on. Like not, jump scares are weak. That's lame. That's like I don't like that at all. But
I disagree. I think jump scares are. I feel they're cheap. They're cheap.
Yes.
They are worth. They're worth every penny. They're quality for sure. But you throw in enough of those, and it's gonna put you on edge.
I guess that's fair. The thing I like is the on edge feeling. The I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, and I don't know what's around the corner. Like adding jump scares to that is good. But I want to be actually scared of what's hiding in the darkness or what's stuff like that. So and even if it doesn't like run out and get me, if I see something slowly walking down a hallway, I don't like that. Don't go the other way. I don't want it.
I agree. I think So, and then I do want to clarify. If you, I think you like a recipe, right? If you're
It's a
cooking
decoy.
in there, you're gonna kill it because it's just gonna be way too sweet and everything. Same thing with jump scares. If you just go too crazy, you're gonna spoil it, and you're not actually gonna get scared anymore because you're just like, okay, I'm used to it, and you have those defenses up. Well, I think those are quantity based ones. You don't want to have too many. I think.
Yeah, that's fair. I
Yeah.
agree. Having jump scares is perfect. Like Layers of Fear had that one jump scare that killed you pretty much, and I thought that was a great jump scare, especially because they didn't do anything before that point.
So like
No.
a final wine.
Yes, exactly. It's important to. I agree. I changed my opinion on that. Good
You
point,
have to
Trout.
let it bleed.
I don't hate them. I just think that they can be overused, and if there's too many of them, it's cheap. But if they throw them in right, it's fantastic.
Oh yeah, it's
Yes.
the same thing with movies. Like if
Oh,
you
yeah.
have a jump scare like every 5 seconds in a movie, you're gonna be like, "What the fuck is this shit?" Like
I
they're
think
just
with-
using it as a prop now. you
Yeah.
know?
Exactly. And with jump scares, I think that bleeds into something else. I feel like when it comes to playing a spooky game, what do you guys hate the most? You hate getting jumped, right?
If it's every few seconds, yeah. Like literally every hallway has a door, and someone just busts out when I walk by. I'm like, dude, this is stupid.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I hate the most about spooky games is I don't know.
Because like as
I've
much as we're
never
saying,
because since I haven't played a lot of them, I've never encountered a spooky game where I'm like, I don't like that. I don't think they should
Okay.
have done that.
when I say hate though, so I love spooky games, but I hate getting scared. But I play them for that reason.
Wait.
I don't know.
Okay,
if
can you
it-
say that one more time?
But that's like so. I mean, everyone. Everyone hates to be afraid, right? Everyone does. Everyone hates to get scared. Everyone hates to get.
I love that
mean,
feeling of being scared.
In real life, yeah, okay, yeah. I see what you're getting at, Trout. Like I don't want to get scared, but I want the thrill that comes after I get scared.
Yes, because it's that,
yes.
it's that like adrenaline rush,
Okay,
Yes.
so we are just from a different level then, because for me, like, I'm looking for something to scare me. You know what I mean? Because like that's why I watch movies. Because like
Mhm.
I'm not. Crap, I'm gonna add. Skip. I just want it to. I'm looking for something to scare me, to creep me out, to get that feeling because I generally
Okay.
don't.
with the jump scares, and I think that brings up something else in spooky games where you have recurrence, right? Well, you don't want it to happen again because you hate the feeling, even though like maybe after the fact you can laugh about it and you're like, man, that got me good or something. But you in that moment when the leading up to it, you don't want it to happen, right?
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. Like, it's
So
gonna get me.
Exactly. So while jump scares may be cheap, they can create another fear of recurrence, and you know what that felt like before.
Like you see something that looks exactly like what happened before, and you're like, I know what's gonna happen if I go in there.
And then
it develops suspense.
Layers of Fear, God, while it had the atmosphere, had 1 or 2 jump scares. That one was really freaking bad, and that kind of broke me for a little bit. I had to take a second to recover. It was the like psychological damage dealt. It was a
I
crit.
think I heard that
but-
one, but I didn't see it because I was purposely not watching anymore. Just out of there
Oh,
for
man.
the sounds.
But that game did really good. With the jump scares, it made me afraid of them, and the atmosphere was all right. But then the level design, some similar rooms that you've seen before. So when you enter a room that you already knew, you just were trained. And I feel like horror games do this really well above control levels on Mario Maker. But I think horror games like train you to think in a certain way, predict that how you're going to do something, and then they're going to punish you for that.
Right.
Layers of Fear was masterful at doing.
Yeah, Layers of Fear, and again, I don't like. We talked about this earlier. The atmosphere in Layers of Fear was so good. Like the haunting background music, the visuals. It wasn't like so much scary. Like rats, the rats weren't really scary. The paintings weren't inherently spooky, but with all the background, it was just unnerving. I guess it made you feel uneasy. Like I shouldn't be here, kind of thing.
You guys have a
Yeah.
hard on for this game. I
Dude,
already
it's a
have
good game.
I have it on my
I'll have
list.
to play it.
I have it on my list.
I agree. You should play this. And I mean, I don't think this changes too much. But you're an artist, and your main character's an artist. I don't think it
Oh,
adds
cool.
that much. But maybe it'll help you be a bit more immersed.
I did see some
And
painting.
you're gonna do better than me because there's collectible things in the game, so you're gonna
Oh, are
you're gonna
there?
do way better than me.
Yeah, Tro got the Garbo ending.
Oh, there's multiple endings. I always like that.
Yes.
Oh wow,
Tro got the
Layers of
Garbo
Fear
one.
is $20.
Hold on, it might be cheaper. Let me see something.
And then there's
Do it.
there's a soundtrack and Inheritance.
Yeah. I won't say much about those because. Oh, wait, here. No.
Inheritance
I
is-
got you. I got you for $5. I got you for $5.
Man, Kirby with the
Ooh,
book
okay. So I
I got
just
the big
opened up
15.
Steam.
Do you want me to link it in chat or just PM you?
Yeah, me.
Okay.
I just opened up Steam and there's this game called Visage.
Oh,
Uh,
I was gonna say Visage. You stole the game I was gonna recommend to you.
Dang,
it's
you
got
just
in the
stole
early
it. I
access.
think we
How
heard.
are you gonna? I would.
What is
Oh,
this?
dude, Visage.
I've heard of it, but never looked at it.
It's early access right now, so it's only like there's gonna be multiple chapters to it, and only the first 1 or 2 are out. I've only played the first chapter so far, but it's kind of like what Silent Hill PT was supposed to be, and it's very realistic looking, which really helps me get into it, and it's very spooky, like the way some of the, I guess, horror elements move, like the enemies, we'll call them enemies, move. Their movement creeps me out, and it's very good atmosphere, and I like it a lot. And there's a good mystery element too, which I really like, but I won't say more than that.
Okay.
I like
Move-
mystery games.
Really good. I don't know if it's something that would be. I don't know where this would qualify in the definition of horror games, but I do think movement is something about like your enemies, like that whole Grudge movement where it's kind of like
Yep.
awkward placement or like the fast like shaky movement thing.
That's
that
okay.
always-
That's yes. Where they're like, yeah, they kind of like mini teleport, like a bunch of. Yeah, I don't like that.
There it is. always gonna be spooky till the day I die. Always.
I like it when you guys say,
So-
yeah, I don't like that.
I don't like it. And,
I don't like it.
I don't.
I don't know about you guys. I don't have any phobias. Do you guys have any phobias?
Yeah, I don't know if it's not okay. I'm not afraid of the ocean, and this is gonna sound really dumb, and Rose always laughs at me for it. I'm afraid of big things underwater. Like I'm afraid of whales. And let's say if you took the Statue of Liberty, not scary. Let's say I'm swimming deep underwater and I saw it down there. Now I'm afraid of it. If that makes sense. I don't like big things underwater because you can't see all of them at once.
Whoa.
But I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm just afraid of big things underwater. So whales terrify me. They might open their mouth and now
Wow.
I'm in there.
I wonder if that actually has a name to it.
I don't. Sometimes you'll look it up and it's called like submechanophobia, which is big metal things underwater, but it's not just metal things. It's just all big things underwater. If you took my dog, and I love dogs, and you made it bigger and put it underwater, I don't like it anymore. I'm afraid. I just don't like big things. My fear is big things underwater.
So
That's good.
Subnautica is not the game for you.
I'm gonna play it, but yeah, that game would be terrifying to me because there's big things underwater. It's the fact that you're not fast underwater because swimming isn't like water isn't our natural zone, and sometimes you can't see the whole part of it. And I don't like that. It's just too big. Why is it down there? It should be up above water somewhere. Go away.
I've only seen bits of that game. Does that game actually have? Is that game does it have just horror elements in it, or is it horror at all?
It's
Never
not
played it.
horror at all. It's an adventure like Minecraft. You like gather resources and you build stuff, and then you use that stuff to make more stuff and survive.
Like No Man's Sky or something?
Yeah, kind of. Or like Raft or Minecraft or any of those stuff.
Okay.
But I played it for my my 2-year anniversary for stream, and I got pretty far. Well, not pretty far, but like I gathered a whole bunch of stuff, and then I died and lost a whole bunch of valuable resources because of some stupid ass fire that I couldn't see on the ground. So like I got salty and I was like, no, I'm not playing this anymore. Screw this. You can also play it in different modes. Like you can
It's
do
so
it where
good.
you don't. Yeah, like when I get salty, I don't just keep playing. I just stop that and do something else that makes me less salty.
I just embrace the salt. I just double down on it. Let's hate my life.
Well, it depends if it's something I really want to play, but like
Sure.
I haven't encountered something that has made me salty that I really want to play. I'm usually more patient about those games.
Okay. So Troy, you said you have no real phobias. Wombat, I think you said you also aren't really scared by much or anything like that.
I do
There's things that creep me out. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, sure.
I do have a
Full-
phobia.
What would you
Like-
say?
I do have a phobia.
Oh, you guys
Dude.
share it. It can't be. I mean, it can't be worse than just big things underwater.
Tell Wombat, don't hide. Come on.
I don't like bubbles in my face.
Okay, that's fair. That's. I mean,
I don't like seeing bubbles in real life at all.
Big old soapy ones?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
the bigger they are, the worse.
so if you, this is, I promise you that I'm genuinely curious here. If you go to a place and you go to the bathroom, like a restaurant or a movie theater or whatever, and they have those soap dispensers with the soap that just really
Those are
foams
fine.
up.
That's
What was
fine.
that?
That's fine.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's if they're floating.
Oh,
So if you
okay.
If you go to like a fair and a clown's like sitting there blowing with one of those big old bubble
I go
things,
like this
it's
and
full-
like no. I can see them on TV fine, like no problems. But, like in a game, it wouldn't
okay.
bother me. It's just when they're physically there.
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm
little
gonna make
embarrassing.
this spooky. A handful of bubbles and it just goes like, and it just blows in your face or something. But
Yeah, nothing.
okay. Yeah. Oh, okay, so on that note, like I don't think I have at least that. There's always something that just makes me feel creepy, and I feel like is trying to make you feel weird. Sometimes it really does accomplish that, and you feel weird, and it just feels awkward to play something, and
Mhm.
and it's within you, you know. That one boss in Dark Souls 2 definitely made me feel this way. It was super easy. What was his name?
What does he look
boss?
like?
Spider boss with all the spiders running
Oh, the
around.
two-headed spider,
Dear
Freya.
Dukes. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that one. As soon as that cinematic played and you see the spider, I was like, I mean, I hate spiders. I guess I hate them, afraid of them, but I think.
Yeah.
So that's always something I think that's another key thing I think you'll find in horror games. Definitely is finding things that I guess have for being creepy. Look at Limbo with that spider.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh man, that spider was cool.
Something that had to give you goosebumps on that one.
It was cool. It didn't scare me.
Oh come on, give me more than that. Come on.
I liked it.
I thought it was terrible. Did you see the little legs out, and then when it stabbed you, it was terrible.
Yeah, Limbo was a creepy game. That's true. Like it was creepy, but not scary.
No,
If
I
you wanna-
definitely think it was worthy of being qualified. I don't know. It's qualified as a horror game.
is it? I didn't know that.
Puzzle. It's
I'd say it has dark elements. I wouldn't say it's horror. I think it's adventure with a
like
horror
a horror
element
puzzle.
backdrop.
We're seeing a lot more. There's Inside. There's Little Nightmares. There's
Yeah, I guess.
What else?
Is there a difference between creeped out and scared for you guys, or no? To me, there is, and if I'm not scared, I don't consider it a horror game. If I'm creeped out, I just feel like uneasy. I guess I'm like, like I don't like what that looks like. I guess like Limbo is creepy, but it's not scary.
I
No,
didn't ever get creeped out by Limbo.
Okay.
Really, I did. I thought it was actually pretty creepy in some parts. Just a game doesn't have to scare you to be qualified as a horror game because different, depending on the audience, maybe someone like Wombat, he just doesn't even feel emotion. He's a machine. He doesn't get scared by.
Unsubscribe.
But like for me, I'm gonna get spooked out even if it's like the slightest thing. Apparently, I don't know. I would disagree with you, I guess, Kirby.
That's fair.
I mean, I feel plenty of emotions. It's just usually positive shit.
Unless you get to
Yeah. Like,
walk away from it.
yeah. Because I
You
mean,
gotta learn to embrace salt, my friend.
yeah, you'll have to teach me the ways, Trell. I'm trying to desalinate you, and you're trying to salt me.
I don't know.
Trump
Kirby's doing
tried.
a good
What was that?
job. Kirby's doing a really good job of that lately. I don't know if you saw that last stream.
I
of his,
did.
but-
I listened to the whole thing while I
I
was
did.
playing Minecraft.
I'm so mad. This is garbage. It was garbage DLC.
All right. So
Don't get him
Let's-
started.
favorite horror games.
Okay. Silent Hill. I love Silent Hill. Resident Evil 2. Honestly, this Visage game, even though it's not done yet, so I can't fully recommend it because they could completely screw up the next 3 or 4 chapters. Unlikely, but they could still mess it up. The first chapter of Visage is probably my favorite thing recently.
Wow.
You guys do you see the list I posted of every horror game I've played?
Yeah, I did it. Yeah. Let me go. Dead Space, Resident Evil 4 and 5. I haven't played 4 or 5 yet. Fear, Alan Wake, Amnesia. Yes.
And I think out of those,
None of
Alan
those
Wake
make my
would be
top
favorite.
list. What was that?
I'd say Alan Wake out of those would be my favorite.
Okay.
Wow. I liked Alan Wake. It definitely is going to be one of my.
Top games.
I don't know. I wouldn't say it was my top games. It is a game that I'm going to hold near and dear to my heart for sure. I loved it so much, but I wouldn't. I think there's other games that I love more.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
What are your some of your top horror games? Like I named like my 3 across different times.
Evil Within, and Evil With. No, I'm just...
And specifically, the Gauntlet of Evil Within was probably the best.
Oh my god.
Did you actually? What would you give that game out of 10? I'm just curious now because I can't tell how much you liked it and didn't like. Like
5.
5. Okay, fair.
It's I liked it more at the beginning.
That's how the surge was.
That game was frustrating after a while. I feel like it has a lot of good elements in it. I feel like the story was a bit everywhere. It has a lot of good characters in it, and I just feel like the gameplay was jank. There was a lot of glitches. It brought you out of that immersion that we talked about earlier. It broke the atmosphere for me, and then it started just kind of downfalling, especially when some of this elements too. Like I think I got ammo locks in Evil Within at one point, and maybe that's just me being bad because I am a bad gamer.
Trash.
But Dead Space, I never had that. I've heard a lot of people have had that problem with Dead Space. I loved every minute of Dead Space 1, 2, and 3. It was so freaking good. One was my favorite by far.
Which one was your favorite?
The first one, I think, was the spookiest of the 3.
Okay.
And then the third one definitely was borderline more action than horror.
Okay, I gotcha.
That game, man. To your point, I guess, or probably be up there for me. Man, Layers of Fear. That game was
Dude, it was good. It was a good Wombat.
game. Good. Uh, for all the wrong reasons, Outlast.
What do you mean for all the wrong reasons?
Because I really, what I love about Alan Wake and Layers of Fear is that it doesn't on violence and gore.
Okay, yeah, it's not grotesque. I gotcha.
The in just to the core of what I don't know. It just makes everything right with the atmosphere, and they're masterpieces in my opinion. And I feel like they didn't Outlast. I feel like, don't get me wrong, if Outlast didn't have any or violence or anything like that, I feel like it'd still be spooky. Of course, you'd have to add more features or whatever, but it definitely has, like, with your limited periffs.
Mm-hmm.
Too, but with Outlast and the camera switching and the management of batteries, the ability not to fight, that really made it. But I feel like what pushed it into everyone's, like, because I feel like Outlast is a gimme category of what's your favorite horror game, and I
I
think
wouldn't put it in
that
my favorite. It's up there, but it's not in my top 5.
I think that it rode the coattails of the gore and violence for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Worthy, it's definitely worthy, but it's nice to see games that stereotype. I don't know. Especially, I feel like it's easy to, like, fall into that trap when you're a horror game.
Yeah. What do you guys feel about like games like Dead by Daylight and stuff where you're in this like almost like Coliseum where you're trying to survive, like a hide and go seek type game?
I feel like I would love Dead by Daylight, and that's a great question. The reason I don't like it is because there's not enough variety for me in the villains. Like, they have like one thing that differentiates. I'm like, oh, this enemy can teleport. Oh, this enemy's invisible and they're not moving, and that's boring. It's too similar, I feel like, between the villains. But if there was a bit more variety between them and they had some more things that differentiated them, and I could be completely wrong, because to be honest, I've never played it. I feel like I would love that kind of game.
I'm hesitant to think that I'd like it. Like, I think I'd like it from not for the horror aspects, but from the like kind of like a Left 4 Dead type of game. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
like when you can play the zombies and attack the people. Like,
Okay.
it's more of like can I survive this? Like, more than oh, this is creepy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotcha. That makes sense, I guess. Let me think.
I feel like I'm game for it. I feel like I'm always down to try something out, but
Yeah.
I've never played that game. But I definitely, its reputation precedes it, so I would give it a shot.
I mean, I've watched plenty of streams of it, and I just haven't been as interested. So it just I got bored. It just seems
That's
like really
fair.
repetitive.
Now, what about, because this game, they're not related really gameplay wise, but I always get the titles mixed up. The game, it's on PS4. I haven't played it yet, but it's called Until Dawn, and it's the game where you make choices as a group. And it's kind of like a horror movie, but you make the choices for the characters. Are you familiar with this game?
Mm-mm.
Okay, let me link it real quick. But essentially, there's a group of, I don't know, like 6, 7, 8 something people, and they go to a cabin. It starts off generic, and spooky things happen. And it kind of bounces around characters, and you make choices that influence the game and other characters in terms of if other characters trust you and stuff like that, and if they live or don't or die, you know. And it's a game I want to play because it seems interesting, but I've never played it myself. I don't know if you guys had seen anything on it. That game. Why did whatever? Okay, Icon. Does that link still work, or is it gonna fuck out? No, it still works. Sweet. But I don't have much else to say because I haven't played it yet. I just didn't know if you guys had any opinions on it, and if not, that's fine.
So, out of everything we've mentioned so far on my list is Layers of Fear and Visage. What are some other games that you guys would recommend that I played?
Okay, let me think.
All the Dead Space.
I've done 1 and 2. I haven't done 3 yet, but I've watched you play it. So at this point,
Yeah,
do I need to?
probably not. Probably not. Have you done Evil Within?
No, you just gave it a 5 and said it wasn't good.
Have you played it? Have you played it?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
I'll put it on the list.
No, I'm asking you, Kirby. Have you played it?
No, it didn't look interesting to me.
I definitely would say that if you're looking for, it's a Bethesda game. I love Bethesda. I would recommend it just because of that.
The second game looks interesting to me, and I own it. I just haven't played it yet. But the first game doesn't. That's why I'm glad I got to watch you play it, because to me, it just didn't look very interesting.
There's a lot of things in there that I definitely feel like it's worthy of a gameplay. It's worthy of a blind playthrough for sure.
Okay.
I mean, in saying that, God, Vi keeps pushing the DLC at me. Maybe I'll do it one day. I don't know.
I should probably add Silent Hill.
You should definitely add Silent Hill.
So I've never played Silent Hill either. I've actually
Yeah, because you and I are not PlayStation owners.
I need to get on the cool train with Kirby.
This is just similar though. So still, again, I know it's already on your list, but it feels similar to my Silent Hill days. I heard Alien Isolation is really good. It's on my to buy list. It's just been.
I have heard that
enough.
too.
Yeah, maybe there's a lot of horror games going on sale now, so it's a good time to get them.
Right.
$9? Ooh.
For your next.
What was that, Trell?
Please. For your next, please.
Layers of Fear?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? I just watched you play the whole thing. I don't want to play it now.
Oh, Wombat. He's got to play it next.
Oh yeah, Wombat for sure.
All right.
Watch it. Alien Isolation is $9 right now. That's actually
That's
really
not bad.
tempting. No, it's not. It's normally 40.
Is that
Damn
on
it.
Steam?
It is on. It's. I mean, it's for Steam. Yeah, you buy it from humblebundle.com
Oh, okay.
and then you get it on Steam. But yeah, Trell, why are you damning?
Because he doesn't want to. No, he can't buy it though, because he has to buy his computer first. That's $9 toward the computer right there.
Oh, Trell, you.
Bloodborne is a horror game.
It's not. I mean,
Dark Souls is a horror game if you consider
it's
it.
not. It's a spooky atmosphere, and there were parts that creeped me out. I was like, I don't like where this is going, but I was never scared. Besides, when I was like scared I was gonna lose to a boss and like lose 180k souls, but whatever.
Right.
Well, so I'm just gonna link this in the Discord, and if you think you're gonna buy it, you can't. You have to add $10 to the computer fund. But even this is on PC. You don't even stream on PC. You don't want this game.
Let me look.
Oh, where'd you link it?
It's going. I'm making sure I have the right link. It's in the Rogue Scholars right now.
Okay.
Now it's there.
A Fear or a Fatal Frame?
Fatal Frame I heard was so good. I've never played it, but it's like you have to take pictures of the ghosts, and the closer they are and the more in the shot they are, the better you do. So you essentially have to let the ghosts get on top of you before you get the picture, or else you don't do as well. I don't know how the score system works. I've never played it, but it sounds cool.
That sounds actually really good. Okay.
Yeah, it sounds terrifying. And it's those weird Japanese ghosts, and they're really spooky because they don't move right.
Oh wow, it's only got 1 day left on this sale.
I know, so I have to decide quick, unfortunately.
A System Shock.
I heard that's a precursor to BioShock, actually.
That's what I heard too.
Never
I
played
wouldn't
it.
qualify BioShock as a horror game.
No, it's not. This is more. I actually don't know what it's like, but BioShock is definitely not a horror game. It's an action game with some horror spooky elements.
Yeah.
Though
Yeah, I would
along
agree.
those lines, Soma SOMA is apparently a pretty good horror game, and it's like futuristic AI kind of robot take on it. I've never played it, but apparently it's really, really good.
Okay.
I own it, so I should probably just play it, but overwhelmingly positive, says Steam.
I've heard of that one too. I want to try that.
You want to try everything, just get a computer.
Really, really do. What about Condemned?
I never played it because when I was younger, they had a demo in GameStop, and I was playing it there, and I was in this. All I know is minor spoilers about one part of the game, but I was in a room with a bunch of mannequins, and then when I turn around, the mannequins would move, and then I turn around again, and they were attacking me. I didn't like it, so I didn't play it ever again.
Wow.
I didn't like it. You can't turn around.
That's funny.
And I think it was on the Xbox only, which is, or it might be on Steam actually, because Microsoft just puts all their Xbox stuff on Steam. That way their consoles suck.
Oh my god, the team that made Layers of Fear made another game.
What game? Oh, Condemned is on Steam. What game?
Observer.
Oh, I have that game.
It's supposed to be Layers of Fear-esque.
Huh.
Is it really? I didn't know that.
Instead of a haunted house, it takes the cyberpunk route.
Hold on, that's interesting.
I want to play.
So that's a
You
$30
can't.
game. So you already have $40 in your computer fund, Trell. Look how fast this is going.
Terrible.
Look at how fast this is going.
I was not prepared to all of a sudden open up my wallet during this stream.
Here, let me find out how much Observer is for you.
Great.
Well, oh, 15. It's on sale right now for 15. That's half off.
Oh god. That sounds pretty tempting. Dang.
Doesn't it? And I know you said Soma looks cool. Okay, never mind. Soma's full price still, so no one cares about that. But
The cheat game. Anyways, I think we're getting way off topic.
well, now we're
Super.
just.
Now we're
okay,
just-
so the main question that Wamba asked was, let's give him some games that he should play, and let's try give him 2 or 3 each. He already said Silent Hill, so I can't use that now. So let me think for a bit. If Trell, you have something, go
So
ahead.
right now the list is Layers of Fear, Visage.
Okay.
So Layers of Fear is Trell. Visage is Kirby.
Love
Evil Within is Trell. Silent Hill is Wombat. And Alien Isolation, was that Kirby?
I said it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't played it, so I can't personally recommend it. I've just heard a lot of great things about it.
Alright. So you got 2 each so far.
Okay, let me think.
Another
I'm trying to
one.
go through my Steam library right now.
By the way, Trell, guess what's in my Steam library right now?
I don't know what.
The first one I mentioned.
Layers of Fear.
Oh yeah, I already bought.
Yes. Dude, it's so good. It's so good. You're gonna get a way better ending than me.
I like.
Oh man.
I like how.
What about
Go ahead.
American Nightmare?
No, that's the DLC.
Doesn't
already-
that count?
No, I already have that game.
Oh, you do? Okay. You don't play it though?
I haven't played it yet, but like, it's not like I'm not going to. Like, that's not a recommendation. Alan Wake's my favorite game that I've played for horror so far. So like, you can't just say Alan Wake.
Well, yeah, but
The
yeah,
Wombat
but
has decreed.
Wombat, do you like Lovecraftian horror, Eldritch horror, stuff like that?
Sure.
Are you
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna recommend a game that's not out yet. And Trell already likes it. I'm just saying it's out there. It's a story-based game, The Call of Cthulhu. I know Trell's looking at it.
Yep, I'm definitely that one.
It kind of looks like it would be like L.A. Noire, but you're trying to solve
Oh, that's
mysteries
cool.
and problems in an Eldritch setting, kind of deal. So I'll
Neat.
link that. It sounds cool. Comes out October 30th, so at the end of spooky season. But it looks interesting,
Oh, nice.
even to myself. I
Um,
know it's more story-based, but still. Sorry, go ahead.
We Happy Few is considered to be a horror game, apparently.
I don't know if I agree with that, but I can see where they're coming from.
I would think that's more like BioShock, where it's just
Right.
has horror.
Yeah, I don't even know if it really has. I mean, I guess.
Have you played it, Kirby?
No, I watched a review on it, and I've watched some people play short bits of it. It doesn't look really interesting to me.
It looked
It doesn't.
It looked-
bosses.
interesting, but I don't think I think I'll wait for a while before I play it.
Fair.
Unless the game has bosses, Kirby doesn't play it.
That's not true. I don't. Is that true? No, no. I just think if there's games I play that don't have bosses, and hold on, most games have bosses by default. That's kind of a common thing in games. But like Spec Ops: The Line doesn't have bosses. I'm still playing that. I mean, I don't only play games with bosses. I don't know if Vampire has bosses. I just really I enjoy a good boss fight. But it's
So
not a
what is
requirement.
Vampire?
It is a game where you play as you play as a doctor who's also a vampire in some old London time. And side note, people are mad they didn't call the game Doctor Acula, but that's anyway.
Oh, missed
That
opportunity.
would be so cool, but it would have made the theme a whole lot different.
Whole different, right? So you're a vampire who's a doctor, and you're conflicted between curing these people and doing what vampires do. And vampire hunters are strolling around, and they're trying to get you, and you need to get them, but you can only get stronger by feeding on people. So you kind of have to like. There's a strong focus on narrative and choices of figuring out who is a good, who you deem as a good person, who you deem as a not so good person, so you can make that choice. And if you're going to get anyone, you can get the people who you don't think deserve to live, pretty much.
The playing
And
God,
that's about
basically.
the extent that I know, but
Cool.
it sounds really interesting.
Are you actually going to listen to the storyline?
Yes, I will. Go, dude. Listen, I will. I give some stories a shot if they sound interesting. This does. I'll give it a shot. If it's boring, you're right. I'm gonna skip every cutscene.
So
every-
if you guys have not tuned into a stream in the past, Kirby generally doesn't have time for cutscenes.
I
Just,
don't.
he tries to power through the game willy-nilly, so like at the end he's always really confused.
I have no idea what's going on half the time.
He just cares about the gameplay.
And I just beat the Surge 2 days ago, and I skipped the ending cutscene. And then I went back to watch the ending cutscene, and I didn't know what was going on, so I did it again. It's my fault. I don't know what they want from me. I just want to fight stuff.
So if I got to give you one more game, Wombat, let me see, what would it be? It would probably be. I don't have a GameCube, right?
I have a Wii.
That counts. You can play GameCube on that.
Probably play PT.
Can you?
PT. What's PT?
Silent Hill PT, but can you? I thought you couldn't get that anymore unless you
Silent
downloaded it when it
Hill-
was out as a demo.
Silent Hill's already a thing that's on the list.
This was like a Silent Hill that never came to fruition.
Right, but Trell, do you know if you can play it if you didn't install it when it was like being demoed?
Can't you still get the demo?
I didn't think you could, but I could be completely wrong on that.
Well, either way, Silent Hill's already on the list, even if it's a game that's harder to get.
That's fair.
So again, the Wombat has spoken.
What about Manhunt?
Isn't that game actually? I don't know. I thought that game was really just a lot of violence. I didn't know. Is it horror?
Apparently.
Yeah, but
Are
I
you
don't.
looking at
Who is
the,
telling you this? Because I don't trust everything the internet claims is horror.
Google's right. Google has decreed.
No, because that's the same people that like Bioshock, Dark Souls.
That's fair. That's fair. I'll accept those answers. Okay, I got one more game I gotta find for Wombat. Then you have to come back to me. You got me unprepared.
I'm
Out
thinking.
loud, would you? Pretty much already said that earlier.
I wish I could sort my library by genre.
So-
This is kind of weak.
So when you guys think of scary games, like obviously this season of scary games isn't the first time you've played scary games, right?
Of course.
So what's the scary game that you think of when you think of that genre?
I'm gonna answer this two ways. One is I already mentioned Clock. I don't even know or think it was that good of a game, but it was one of the first horror games I ever played, and the first game to really scare me into continuing. So I think of that mostly for nostalgia.
Mhm.
In terms
What
of what was
Yeah,
that?
broke up. What was it?
Oh,
Clock
sorry, that
Tower.
Clock Tower game. The guy with the big scissors. That was like one of the first games to scare me, and the first horror games I played. So that's why I think of that when I think of horror game. But besides that, in terms of like a good horror game, I think of Silent Hill. I played that before Resident Evil, so that's kind of like the genre definer for me.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Kirby or Trellian?
Trell.
Doom.
Huh?
I
Doom?
feel like that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, I would.
I feel like.
You think that's more horror than action?
Yeah. So the first.
I think
played
at the
first-
time it was.
Okay.
What did you
Sorry.
say, Trell? I kind of interrupted you.
No, so the first Doom I ever played was the first one, and I was a kid, and I should not have played that. Probably more spooky then. now. And then another one that I never beat, and that one I feel was more horror based than action.
Wait, which game? I'm sorry, I
Hey,
missed
you
it.
cut off.
Doom 3.
Oh,
feel
Doom
like-
3. Okay.
Doom 3, I feel like it went away from their run and gun to more horror-esque. So anytime I think of a spooky game, that was kind of like,
It's interesting that you
Like-
say Doom. Because I actually have played Doom. I played it back when I was a youngin' myself. And I played Doom 4, I think it was, and that was kind of, they had creepy elements to it too. They kind of leaned into that, I guess, in the genre. But yeah, for its time, it's kind of like a video game that you played a long time ago seems so like realistic, and then you like go back and look at it, and it's like,
Oh,
yeah.
what was this garbage? But like it's kind of the same with Doom. Like it was one of the first precursors to like that type of game. You know what I mean? Like that was popular.
Yep.
So yeah, I can see, and like these horrific monsters, blood and like sacrificial areas and like guts everywhere. It's, yeah, I can see that.
It definitely. I think Doom is also one of the key games that defined out the genre, if you want to. I don't know if you could call that a genre, but I think Doom helped define. Let's just say that.
Sure.
yeah, it's fair.
Hmm.
So yeah, I probably think of Doom 3 when I think of horror, just because that one I felt like had more horror elements than the first Doom for sure.
Right.
Yeah, I played Doom 3. Interesting.
So would you say that the horror genre is fairly small in types of games that it has? Like it doesn't seem like we've been coming across a lot of games like that. What about like
I agree.
how
Yeah.
about Slender? Have either of you two played Slender?
Yes.
I don't buy into the Slender Man thing.
Have you watched the Marble Hornets documentary?
No.
It's on YouTube, the whole thing. The beginning of it, especially, is great. Like they did a great job with it. I feel like as the story went on, you may or may not like it, but I enjoyed it. It's where Slender Man really took off.
Okay.
So I recommend it. It was fun. A fun ride.
The movie sucks. Don't see the movie.
I wasn't planning on it.
No, I'm just in case you ever thought it might be even 1% decent. It's not.
Slender Man the movie.
Yeah, the one that just came out. Rose and I saw it. It was terrible. All of it. The acting, the lighting, like it doesn't follow the story at all. Like the Marble Hornets thing he was talking about, it just doesn't make any sense and it's bad.
Yeah, and
Animation
I
is
think they
bad.
take elements from the story, don't they?
They do, but then they mix it with their own stupid ideas, and it's
Right.
just bad. But that's not what we're here to talk about. I have played the Slender Man game, both the like original where you're just in the woods
the
and the Slender Man Arrival.
Okay.
But what I think,
Arrival's new, yeah.
I don't like Arrival. The original one where you're in the woods had a pretty nice creepy vibe, especially as Slender Man's aggression kicks up the more
Pages you
pictures or whatever
find.
you collect. The
Yeah.
pages, yeah. I thought it was short, right? There wasn't a whole lot to it, but
Yeah,
what
it's
was
just
there
6
I enjoyed.
pages. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was fun and it was creepy.
So one of the big problems I feel like the genre is limited in the amount of games that are. It's probably one of the smaller genres, right? I mean, figure out why that is.
Well, it's not for everybody.
Definitely, I don't feel like it's not to as big of an audience as say like Fortnite, right? It's not like where it's just appealing.
Yeah.
So again, with the survival horror thing we were kind of talking about earlier, like where really end up having is just the game over screen or the you died screen. Is that really the only thing?
I don't think so, because then I'd be just as afraid as I am in Dark Souls. I feel like of the you died. I'm not like afraid in Dark Souls. I don't want to die, but I'm not like, oh, I don't feel fear. I just feel like anger when I die. I'm just mad. In horror games, I get scared about the prospect of dying, and I feel even when I'm not dying, like when I'm like walking, down the hallway or through the woods, I feel scared there. I don't think it's the same thing.
So, what about you, Wombat? Because you mentioned earlier you don't really get scared. You just don't want to die.
Sorry. What's the basis of the question?
With a survival horror game, why are those successful? Is it just, and what makes them scary? Is it just the fear of having your character die?
No, I don't think so. I felt like that made it more intense. That makes it more intense at times, because like you have this added friction, this added emotion of I don't want to die, on top of you already being like potentially scared from the atmosphere. You know what I mean? They kind of
Right.
build one on the other. So like you'll have them separate and then you'll have them together, and that's where it really gets you.
Mhm.
I think that's what makes that like a thing. For me, sure, I don't get scared very often, but when I do, I'm like, yes, that's awesome. Like it has to be good. It has to be a good scare. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So, looking at like today.com, right? They say the 5 fears that we all share, and I feel like this kind of I feel like now that I've read this article, I'm like I kind of like reflect on some of the games I play, and I feel like even games I haven't played, like sure probably checks off a lot of these.
Hmm.
Extinction, the fear of annihilation, right?
Mhm.
Mutilation, the fear of losing any part or precious bodily structure.
Who's like, yeah, I mean, that's a given, right? Like, I don't want to lose my arm. I don't think, or whatever.
You like broke up a little bit there.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was saying that's kind of like a given. Like, no one wants to get their arm cut off, but like, not everyone's afraid of spiders. Like, I agree. I guess they're not wrong. That's a fear everyone shares, but I don't know.
Right.
Feels cheap.
So of autonomy, the fear of being immobilized, paralyzed, or restricted.
Again, I don't think anyone wants that.
Right.
Yeah. Separation, the fear of abandonment.
That's fair. That's one that not everyone shares. I mean, to an extent, people generally want to hang out with people, but there are some people obviously who are very terrified and have, like abandonment issues and whatnot.
Yeah. Ego death, which is the fear of humiliation or shame. So that's interesting. I feel like one that, I mean, RE7 I feel like checks off a lot of that.
Yeah.
Even the ego death one, because sometimes it's kind of like you're there trying to get your wife back, and all of a sudden you're failing to do so, and
Yeah.
maybe. I think Layers of Fear plays on that really nicely. Yeah. Interesting. I don't know. This conversation is definitely opening my eyes up a bit to how I'm perceiving some of these games.
Interesting that the horror topic in whatchamacallit, Steam only has 5 pages on it.
Yeah, it's very small. I was just looking at that when I was games to recommend you. I'm like, because I didn't want to start through my library.
Speaking of which, Rel, I just found this game that's on sale, and Kirby, I don't know if you have it or not. It's called Little Nightmares.
I do.
Typed it in chat. It's on sale right now. It's 70% off. It looks awesome. It's very.
It looks great. I do have it. Rose is supposed to stream it at some point.
Yeah, that might be something I want to stream too. It looks good.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Oh, you already
can look it
it.
up
Never
on
mind.
Steam.
Cool.
Trell, you still got one more.
I'm trying to suggest games without giving away some of the ones I got locked up.
Why is it such a damn secret? Why do you have this like thing where you're like trying to
Plus, if
protect
you
damn
recommend
nuclear
a
launch
game-
codes with your stream games?
And if you recommend a game that you have on your queue, if you don't say that it's on your queue, then how are we gonna know?
Yeah, what if I start streaming it now?
Whoa, no.
See?
Hold on, let me find a game. Hold
At
on.
least at least tell me the game you were looking on Steam before podcast that was like top, unless it wasn't a horror game because that's not relevant. But I want to know what you're thinking about.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Hold on, let me find a game. Chill. Yeah, what's a good game for you? Have you've played? Oh, yeah, I haven't played that one, so I can't really recommend it. This genre really is limited, though, isn't
It's
it?
very limited. It's not super, just like horror movies. They're not super popular, right? Most people don't like horror movies, and they only kind of come out. A few come out during the year, and then like 5 will come out near October, and then that's it. Horror in and of
Huh.
itself isn't super popular.
Did you play Fear?
I played the first one. I own the first and second.
Play the second.
All right.
I never played either, but I watched a friend play them.
I kind of want to replay all of them because it's been so long. I actually really liked the first Fear. That's why I got the second one. I felt like it was more action at times with some horror elements as well. Like it was kind of both at the same time. It was weird.
Yeah. The Soma game, it keeps showing up.
Yeah, that's like it's like robot futuristic type horror.
Dude, I'm so glad I played Layers of Fear. That game is showing up on like every top 5 list.
Nice.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
Beat with that one, Wombat.
Good game.
Yeah, Trell, you'll have to
Good.
play Amnesia.
Oh, Amnesia's
Yeah, I tried not to watch too much. I just listened to you play because that actually, as soon as I started watching you play, I was like, damn, this looks pretty interesting.
Yeah, it
So-
was pretty good. I enjoyed it.
On the 7 that I mentioned before, though, but I do want to play it.
Yeah, something for next year. Or go into Spooktober 2. I
Yeah,
like
you're gonna be
Boogaloo.
ready for it next year then.
Absolutely. Because we're already half done the month. So.
I don't like it.
I like how you both looked.
It's not time for that.
So yeah, if you guys have any spooky games that you know of in chat, let us know because we're always game to play spooky.
Need more of them.
Yeah, we definitely do. Or if you guys are thinking about making a spooky game for us to playtest, please do let us know. We'll play it.
Yes. I'm
Just don't
down
like
for
too many
that.
cutscenes.
Well, I guess we've pretty much eliminated the topic. Let's do a little bit of a review here. So Trell had
Sure.
suggested Layers of Fear, Evil Within, and Fear. So it's definitely got Fear on the mind. I have suggested for myself Silent Hill, and then we've got Visage, Alien Isolation, and Call of Cthulhu from Kirby.
Yeah.
God, Call of Cthulhu looks so good.
It's unfortunate I can only half recommend Visage because again it's not fully
Right.
released, and I can't even fully recommend Call of Cthulhu. It just looks like it's going to be good, and your kind of game just do the story aspect and whatnot.
It looks so good.
Voices, but
So
yeah,
here's the other thing. Even though horror is such a small category, like think of the big followings that Silent Hill and Resident Evil have.
oh yeah,
Like some people consider Dark Souls to be like in that genre because of the undead themed and things like that, or like say Left 4 Dead. Like it's got an obvious market, like, but it's weird that it doesn't have like it seems like the ones that are the most popular are the ones that are light on the horror aspects and more on the spooky, the creepy. Have you noticed that?
yeah.
I think maybe
Like Dead Space might be the only exception.
well,
Although
it's enough. it's enough to keep you to do and not to do much. Because I think if you go like Outlast probably turned away a lot of people after they picked up the first level and then they got far. They probably turned away after a while. You have to find a balance of that, right? Because there's going to be some people that are just not going to finish the horror game. Kayla is where she started Layers of Fear, and I think she even finished the first chapter. And
She
she was like,
started
"No,
it?
I'm done," because this was like a year ago. She started
Okay.
it, and she's like, "No, I'm not going to play it," because she knew that she couldn't take it. She was like, "I'm going to have a panic attack. I can't do it." So I mean, playing in there where they're like, we can't push the person too far.
Yeah. It's just interesting that a game series, a series can be so popular, and like horror aspects can be really popular. Like, think of how good Last of Us did,
Oh yeah.
but like,
Yeah.
it's still a genre that's very lacking. So, I guess it's hard to do it right, is what we're kind of getting at.
Well, it comes back down to what we were talking about last week with level design, right? But there's a lot more that's in play, I think, than just pure level design. I think you got to the atmosphere. You got the gameplay. I feel like maybe plays in horror games than any other game, because you have to account for things like the periph, the abilities of the person. Can they jump? Can all these things you have to. How is that going to play out the thing? But you actually then have to think, is this going to make them scared? So I think there's another question that comes into play then.
Yeah.
So it's not, I think everyone's able to do it.
You know, now that I'm
Either.
thinking about it, I do think that like I do get scared about dying in a game, like losing progress, but also like worrying about the character or not. Like even like my first time playing Minecraft, I was so scared to die. Like I would avoid all kinds of things because I was afraid they were like I hadn't even seen a creeper yet, but I was afraid of creepers because I had heard of them and they're green and they explode. And since I'm colorblind, I actually encountered a pumpkin on the ground, and I didn't. I only saw like I saw all pumpkins back then had like a jack-o'-lantern face, and I thought it was a creeper, and because I thought it was green and it was orange, and I was like staying like really afraid of a pumpkin. So like I think like survival is definitely a key feature of a horror game too. It's like the fear of dying, of losing progress, of it getting you, you know, something like
Mhm.
that.
I'm
Especially
glad you
when you
kind of
get into
mentioned
it.
I'm glad you mentioned the creeper thing and the pre-knowledge of it, because I feel like that's like what the thing I was mentioning earlier with the fear of recurrence. I feel like there's so I've on my time on Twitch has actually been really nice, and I feel like the people that have come and watched me, I'm grateful for, and they've also been super polite. No one's gave spoilers, no one's been complete jerks,
Mhm.
so I'm grateful for that. But sometimes they come in there and they don't spoil, but they'll be like, "Oh, you're at this part or something," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"What does that mean?" I'm like, "No, that makes it worse. That makes it way worse for me." And then I'm like, the anticipation is killing me. So I feel like, thank people for watching me because they enjoyable.
I during one of my streams, I had somebody jump in and spoil Avengers: Infinity Wars for me.
What?
They just listed everyone who died, everyone.
What?
Oh my, that's dick.
But
Wow.
I didn't believe the list. Like I saw a
Okay.
few names on the list and I was like, no, they're just
No.
trolling me. And then like I went to the theaters and watched and I was like, it
Damn.
was real. I and I kind of had a I kind of suspected that it was real because one of my mods was like, no, don't read that list.
Okay.
So I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, spoilers can definitely be a thing that can cheapen a game.
Mhm.
Especially if you don't want them. I feel like, and some people have a hard time not spoiling stuff, like even something as basic as, and we could probably talk all about spoilers as a
Ooh.
thing. That could be a topic at some time. I'm not sure if it'd be a whole topic, but yeah, it can
Yeah.
it definitely can cheapen a game or a movie or anything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Especially in horror games, because I mean, you're diffusing the punch, right?
right.
So I mean, it's no longer going to be longer doing what it's defined to do and scare you. So
Spoiler alert: Peach was never actually at the first castle. Kirby banned.
How are you gonna do that? I never played Super Mario Bros. I thought that you just do one castle and that's it. I'm so mad.
spoilers: Peach is actually Bowsette.
Just don't. Nope. Nope. Bowsette's garbage. Stupid. And it's weird. and I
Aw,
don't
come
approve of it.
on! How can you not like Bowsette? Please.
Welcome, I've seen that.
I want to bring up one more game real quick. I've only played a bit of it at my friend's house. I linked it in chat. It's called Perception, and a really interesting premise of where your character's blind and you have to hear using echolocation. So anytime you step or you can like snap or clap or something, I don't remember, it like sends a pulse that you can see
Huh.
for that duration. And the enemies as make similar pulses when they move, and it's kind of up to you to stay quiet.
Oh,
If you don't move, then you
interesting.
can't really see anything. And when enemies move, if you see light and you're not making sound, you know that an enemy's over there. And it had a pretty cool narrative and a really interesting take on how to show the environment. I thought it was really nice. It was
Wow.
cool.
That game looks incredibly good.
It
Looks
was
awesome.
it was a lot of fun the bit I played. I want to buy it again on Steam. I played it at a friend's house on like Xbox or something.
I
But
said it looks, and Alexa thought I said something.
you want to talk to me? Am I part of the podcast? Hello? Yeah, the games, if you get the chance, $20 is, I know it's not super cheap. I couldn't find it on sale right now, but I might pick it up again. It was a lot of fun. The bit I
Because
played.
of you guys,
really
I'm
unique.
never getting a new computer because I'm always buying video games now.
Stop.
Dude.
I already
Yes.
made this rule for you. You gotta follow it, man. You just got like $100 toward your computer right now.
Yep.
Just the stream.
You only like
You
like
can-
9 more
don't blame
podcasts.
us.
Yeah, you're welcome. Actually.
Oh man.
You know what's a really creepy story that we haven't talked about?
It's that.
Getting over it. It's really creepy. Guy's
Oh my
like
God.
half like whatever that
He's
thing
like-
is. A
He's like
cauldron.
cemented into a cauldron. Yeah, I don't.
You think that was just like the mob that got him or something, or?
I don't.
It was
I
a
don't know,
mimic.
but this dude is
A
like
mimic that
jacked.
started eating him and then got full.
Oh, nice.
Well, I think that's gonna be it for us today, right? I think.
Yeah, I don't have much else to add. That game was
Yeah.
kind of like my last just shot.
We'll be back in 2 weeks to talk about something else, maybe even more spooky stuff. In the meantime,
I think.
we stream every 2 weeks on Sundays at you know what? I think it used to be 9 a.m. but now we're
It
doing
did,
8
but I was
a.m.
fine with 8. I don't really. Sometime between 7 and 9.
Yeah,
is
it's
how it
sometimes
goes.
between 7 or 9.
You never know
we
what's gonna
usually
happen.
stream for an hour and a half or two, and we talk about video games, other topics as well, and like we had a stream about Dungeons and Dragons. We've
Yep.
had a whole bunch of different things, so that's your kind of thing. We'll see you next time, and hope we'll see you then.
All right. Thanks, guys. See ya.
See you guys.